In a 4-3 ruling, Virginia's top court striking down a voter-approved redistricting map that would have flipped up to 4 seats blue in the upcoming midterms. And New York Congresswoman AOC not happy about it.
Virginia was an election of 3 million Americans. This court did not overturn a map. It overturned an election.
And joining us now, former Obama campaign director Robin Biro, as well as former Trump spokesperson Liz Harrington. We're also joined in studio by our special guest, Newsmax host Bill Spadea. And there he is, as well as former New York Congresswoman Nan Hayworth. So great to see you both. And
Great to be with you.
Robin, I want to start with you here. Did the Virginia Supreme Court overturn this election, steal this election, like AOC said? What are your thoughts on her quote, on what she said?
I kind of thought it was strange, actually, that this went to an election. This is usually done legislatively, and sometimes the Supreme Court intervenes, like they did in North Carolina. Republicans changed the map there, and the Supreme Court in North Carolina said that it was unconstitutional. I kind of thought that would happen here. I thought it was strange to begin with that this went to an election. So, no, I think that this was just an anomaly.
Yeah, I mean, this gerrymandering of congressional maps, we're seeing it not just here in Virginia. President Trump called the ruling a major win for America. How do we grapple with redistricting and red versus blue states? Robin.
I think that at the end of the day, we've got to start. This is becoming the new civil war where we're dividing up the country along political lines. That's got to stop. They can't go on in perpetuity like that. We've got to do something different.
So, Liz, your thoughts on this as well, on AOC's comments there?
Well, really, the Democrats were trying to steal seats that were Republicans for a very long time. And so what you have here is they rigged an election and worded the question to say, oh, we're just restoring fairness. The whole thing was absurd. But the consequences of this overreach are huge. As you talk about, now you have a bunch of Republican-led states that would have never thought about redistricting in this way are now doing that. And some of them are trying to, restore some balance that and correct some mistakes from the past. However, I tend to agree. I think this is not what we want to be. We want people to actually have representation. And I think the core of the matter is fix our elections, make sure that they're secure, get the Save America Act. That would go a long way to actually getting real balance and see where we're at as a country.
I mean, historically, the sitting president's party loses House seats in the midterms. I mean, Bill, are the fate of the House and the Senate going to come down to these redistricting maps?
Well, in part, yes, at least for this election. So, yes, you're right. The president's party typically loses in a midterm, so we expect that. And the polling shows that Republicans are in trouble. However, the Supreme Court kind of reset the clock a little bit because they said, look, it's not fair. It's a very racist thing that you're doing to draw lines based on the color of people's skin. So we're going to stop that. But I think Robin made a great point earlier that this was not the court usurping an election. This was the Democrats usurping the legislative process by taking it to the voters. If you've ever looked at those ballot questions, they're so confusing. There's no way it was a fair way to present that to a voter and say, yes, you guys figure out the map. No way. It wasn't fair. They knew it. They tried to make an end run, and the court stopped.
No, they tried to ram it through. Congresswoman, I would love your thoughts on this. Yeah, just take it away.
Well, I endorse the comments of all who preceded me, and I want to just give a shout out to Robin Biro because he is a great American, and his party has betrayed the interests of the great Democrats in so many ways. In the Virginia case, amazing that the governor herself had decried partisan gerrymandering as fundamentally something that we should avoid as Americans. And that was a great position to take. Then she gets elected, and of course they ran through this referendum, which violated specifically 4 specific statutes in the state of Virginia. 4. The Virginia Supreme Court then obviously negated this piece of legislation by calling into into play those 4 violations. And they were thwarted in a blatant attempt to turn Virginia bluer than it is ever meant to be. It's nearly a 50-50 state. And what Republicans do, we point to New England. In all of New England, even though there's 30 to 40% Republicans in every state in New England, there's only one person in the Senate, Susan Collins of Maine, one Republican for that entire area. So when Democrats call out Republicans for doing things on their end,
almost half the people in that region vote Republican, and there are no representatives.
There are no representatives
in that entire swath of the country.
Exactly. And so our democracy is robust. It is full of contentious and Americans who want to see their government move forward. But we do have these internecine battles.
That's exactly why I couldn't wait to get your thoughts. Liz Harrington, Robin Biro, thank you so much for joining us, and of course, Bill, Nan, we'll see you here all morning.
Thank you.